almost there. No way. What is this? You're tuned in to the Eyes Open podcast, where secrets aren't safe and we see it all.
Now, this topic can be definitely debated as what is one of the main signals of the decay of modern society. And I would argue, I mean, we could say social media, we could say all kinds of, there's a million things that comes to mind of what could be considered the decay of modern society. And definitely social media is one of them, because social media has put most of them, not, I won't even say America, most of the world in a trance. Okay. If you even see people that invite people to go to a party, okay, I seen a meme they were talking about. They said, hey, do you want to come over later and stare at your phone? That's like what it is. You get to a get together now and people just sit there and stare at their phones. I remember when I had a get together at my house, which I don't have a ton. I had some people over, and one of the rudest things you can do is, I'm telling you, if I come and hang out with you and you're hosting me at your house, the worst thing I can do is answer my phone, especially if it's like in an evening event. And even if it's not, honestly, if I answer my phone, I consider that highly, highly rude. Like, I would not do that. And that's kind of when I got out of the hanging out with people phase, because I realized like everybody's got to be so damn connected to their phones. And I mean, unless you're an on-call doctor or nurse or something to where you have to keep your phone on you, people are like completely glued to their screens. And you got to realize this, even from somebody who lives their life posting content like me, doing all of this type of stuff. When I'm not on my phone, I'm not on my phone. So if I'm on my phone, it means I'm more than likely posting content. It's something to do with you know, the page and what I'm doing. Because I love when I don't have to be on my phone. And that's one of the sacrifices of being a content creator, is you have to, unfortunately, be on your phone a lot. But if I didn't, like, let me give you a for example. I could have a production team doing all this stuff for me, editing, you know, filming, doing all this stuff, and I wouldn't have to do nothing. I just have to come and sit in the studio. They would handle all the rest. And I'm sure that would be great. But I mean, for the time being, I like to be in control of it. It's just the way I am. Even when I did business, I could have had a lot of people underneath me that I could have hired for different positions. I like to be in control or in the driver's seat of my own destiny. That's just me, period. But for this episode, like I tell you guys, I had to. Now, I'm going to wonder when they're actually going to hit me up, because this cap I'm wearing right now, this is from Haven, Havn, and it's literally, you know, theoretical tinfoil hat, because it's silver lined, and I guess EMF can't get through it like they would a lot of other stuff, but Haven's been some pretty cool stuff. They have all types of stuff like blankets, and I haven't tried another stuff, and like I said, I'm not sponsored by them, so and see, I shout people out that don't even sponsor me. If I believe in the product, I shout it out. And I hit them up a while ago, and I still didn't get a response back about a sponsorship or anything. But no, I'm not going to lie. Because the hats are like, I think I paid like $50 for this hat, which is crazy, or maybe more. I think it was like $75. But I'm not going to lie. Like, it's actually, in a sense, it seems like your head isn't as clouded when you wear it. It's weird. It's kind of weird, because I know the people who've been experiencing all the stuff they're definitely sending frequencies out. I know it. I can feel it. Like, you could feel it in your body, you could feel it in your head, and that's why I made this post about what was it? It was last week sometime. I made a post about how there's people experiencing all types of symptoms that they never had before. And it's not just to say, oh, yeah, it's from the CVID event or something like that. No, it's people having verified, issues, fatigue, anxiety, all types of stuff they're having going on with them. And a lot of people don't realize that we are on the forefront. We're on the forefront of being attacked by all types of things around us. And the biggest thing is, I think that we're allowing confusion to overwhelm us. Now, this is what I've never wanted, what I don't think people understand. I never wanted to make a show and have it confuse those that are watching, or even try to draw people over to be fearful, or it's not supposed to elicit that type of reaction. See, where I come from, we educate ourselves. See, knowledge is power where I come from. Nowadays, it seems like when you try to instill any amount of knowledge onto people, or even have an open discussion about something, you're automatically instilling fear. Or they try to, say that you're trying to elicit a reaction. Oh, it's clickbait. It's clickbait. It's like people learn a new word, and all of a sudden I swear, ever since the word narcissist came out, every woman on this planet has used that word. He's a narcissist. He's a narcissist. They're a narcissist. No, I'm serious. Narcissist is one of the most, if they could say, what is one of the most overused words nowadays in 2026, this year easily, or I would say, easily you could say 2025, 2026. In the last year, the most overused word is narcissist. And maybe guys use it, I don't know. But I've seen nothing but a lot of single women using that word. Well, I wasn't with him no more because he's a narcissist. And I'm like, do you even know what that means? Like a narcissist? I think I think most people in general, like even with what I do, you could claim anybody that's like looking for attention as a narcissist, or that believes in themselves and builds themselves up. Like, think about that. But a true narcissist is somebody that's like completely obsessed with themselves. And they completely, they put themselves above everything and everyone else. And I mean, I don't know. If you're trying to be something big in this world, you got to be a little cocky and confident. So maybe that's why I'm saying, like, I think that's a very overused word, is narcissist. A true narcissist, somebody would know. And I think that's what everybody's a sociology major, or what is it? Psychology major nowadays. And no shade on the psychology majors, but speaking to all the young men out there, if she's a psychology major, red flag. And I'm just saying, because everybody's trying to psychoanalyze everybody nowadays, to the point, I mean, I remember back in the days when we could watch a show like mine, we could, get some information from it, have a little bit of fun. But nowadays, everything's just like so, like straightforward. Like, oh my gosh, this person, F them. Like, why are people so on it and so after it and so like pissed off is the easiest way to say it. Everybody really is. They think that everybody's out to get them. And that's not always the case. And people think that I make it out to be like that. No, I'm not saying everybody's out to get you. I'm simply peeling back a layer that's already been there. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. There's a lot of layers to the world that we live in. And see, most people don't see them. They just go about their business and they live on that first layer. But just like I said, the world's like an onion, man. You have to peel back the layers. And if you're I won't even say conspiracy theorist at this point, conspiracy realist. If you're a conspiracy realist at this point, you're just seeing things for what they are. You're being a critical thinker. That's it. But I mean, there's so many wild ideas of what's going on right now. in the world that people are just thinking that everything and everyone is their enemy. And see, in a sense, I think that that's where what I say gets misconstrued and undeveloped when it should be developed, not underdeveloped. People take what I say and they run with it, talking all kinds of crazy stuff. For example, there was somebody that literally got so upset with me. They're like, oh, you know what? He called, dude, this is one of the funniest things I've heard in a while. They said, oh, he calls himself Eyes Open Podcast, and we can't even see his eyes. He wears glasses. And I'm like, oh my freaking gosh. You're obviously new here, ma'am. I think it was a ma'am. Ma'am, you're obviously new here. She probably honestly lives in a trailer somewhere. She's got a Trump flag flying outside of it, and probably a Q flag too. And she still believes that there's tribunal hangings that are coming. These are the type of freaking dumbasses I deal with on a daily basis. But I'm like, if you even watched my show at all or my videos at all, you know, go look at my videos. How many videos do I do with, or no, this is what, I just want to let you guys know what she said. She said, show them lizard eyes. And I'm like, oh my fucking gosh. Like, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm a conspiracy theorist, but it gets to a point where it's, you're either like, you need to check in somewhere and get fucking evaluated, or, I mean, I don't know. Like, do you really believe that shit? Even William Cooper proved, I'm sorry to tell you guys, okay? If there's lizard people, I'm telling you, my research has shown none of that. Now, are they probably fallen angels? Of course. I honestly believe that's more plausible based on the Bible, based on what I believe in. But these people literally believe that there's like, you know, a draconian bloodline. And I go based off what William Cooper said. William Cooper even said, if you believe that Queen Elizabeth and all of them are lizard people that go drink blood in the basement of a thing and he said, you need to get into a mental hospital. And I honestly believe him on that. Because let me put it this way. I could tell you that there's a spacecraft that picks up people at the end of my property every Friday, and they go up in there and get anal probed and looked over, because I have as much evidence that that's happening as that there's fucking lizard people that are doing anything. Okay? Other than somebody will show a video and say, oh, their eyes are blinking or something. Do you guys want me to take my hat off? You want to zoom in? You want me to go do a video? I'll do a video sometime, and I'll put my face in front of it and go, oh, look at my pupils blink. Trust me, I'd be getting a lot. Which one is it? Okay? Is it clickbait, or am I, you know, trying to get you people to view everything? Because if that was the case, you know, if it's clickbait, I'm trying to get you guys to view everything, I should go show my pupils blinking like Erica Kirk. And then you guys really would be like, oh shit, he's a fucking lizard. I'm going to pay attention to this show. But I mean, come on, guys. We got to have a little bit of just even common freaking sense, man. Just enough, because what happens is if we believe in some real Looney Tunes shit, that's when they categorize all of us type of people that see the world for really what it is as a bunch of crazy conspiracy theorists. That's where the line separates between lunacy and actual shit we can prove. And people know I would be glad to talk with anybody that's an expert in draconian bloodlines or whatever, and I'd love to talk to any of those type of people. I'd have no problem doing that. You educate me on it, okay? That's something I don't know about, because I'm trying to tell you there's a co-op going on. That's what people don't understand. There's a co-op in the world. They have to I'm gonna break this down real easy for you. So say there's a bunch of pedophiles that are running the world that are actually drinking blood and doing all this crazy shit. And they're like, how can we make these people look crazy enough to where we could pink slip and throw their ass in a nut house? Oh, put out there that we're fucking lizards, man. put them out there that we're fucking lizard people, like some Fear and Loathing shit. We're all lizard people, and then they'll start believing it, and then we can just present that to a judge and put these people in the fucking nut house. Honestly, I think that's where we're going. They're gonna deem people to be insane based off what they believe in, and they're gonna throw a bunch of people in the nut house. That's what they're gonna do. Instead of focusing on what we can prove. Have we not proved the Epstein files are real? Have we not proved that everybody in control is a bunch of pedos? Okay? Why don't we lean closer to what we can prove and stop focusing on shit we can't prove? I think that's what it is. That's where you get all these distractions, all the stuff that's going on right now, is because they want you more focused on your phone, on bullshit, on all these crazy, wild theories, than focusing on what's happening right in front of you. And that is the decay of modern society. That's what it is. It's to keep you guys docile. It's to keep you guys stupid. It's to keep you guys fighting amongst each other. I can go on and on and on. That's what it is. But honestly, because like I said, a lot of people would paint it as devices are the decay of modern society. I don't know if that's true. It's a little deeper than that. And I believe it falls a lot on us letting our minds run away with each other. Like, even when I talk to people, when I did that video about, that was pretty wild with that Perez Hilton guy, who I guess, and there's no coincidence with that, people. You see Ariana Grande covered in blood, and then you see him covered in blood. And I didn't watch the video because, like I told you guys, hey, if you guys want to go watch that type of demonic shit, go right ahead. But I know enough to hear about it and report on it. I already know what that is. And people don't, that's a big problem, is you guys don't. That's why you see these people at concerts like falling over artists, and they're like, oh my gosh, and they're screaming and crying because they're under a spell. These people work spell work. You have no idea what these people do and what they're into. I do. I see it and I know it. And even if I was never around these circles, I still would know it because I get this sense of discernment. That's why I do this, to educate you guys. And then I have people telling me, oh, well, you shouldn't have posted the picture either. Dude, I post the picture and people still go, well, I don't know. Maybe he was depressed, or maybe it was this, or maybe it was... Dude, you need to show people something that's graphic and real. Because if you don't, at this point, they don't even want to believe you for know-how. Try standing in front of a camera and getting people to understand the truth like that. Oh, hey, they're all bathing in blood or whatever. No, you have to have a visual aid nowadays. They don't even want to listen even when you have that. But that's the point of what I'm saying is, now, could it be that the dude had mental illness and he did that? Hey, maybe he did. But I'm going to bank on the fact that he said he met God. And, you know, from what I understand, only from what I understand, he's a homosexual, a proud homosexual. Well, then he must have demons if he has a demon. Because I believe that, and that's another thing, okay? I don't care what nobody thinks about that. Being a homosexual, you have a demon. I've been around enough of them. I've had one in my family. That was a brother. I've dealt with it. That is a demon that's inside of you. Okay? So, and there's testimonies I can show you of people that was like a girl who was a lesbian that was married and explained the demonic influence she went through. So I'm sorry. That is absolutely, to me, demonic influence. And maybe that's what it is. Pray for that man. Pray for Ariana Grande. Pray for all these people in Hollywood. They need it more than ever. And nobody's ever too far gone. The Apostle Paul murdered Christians, okay? So nobody's too far gone. I promise you that. That's why the Bible says that Jesus came to justify the ungodly. So we're all bad in a sense. So we shouldn't look at anybody like they're bad. But that's what I'm saying is we need to be praying for each other more than anything. But we need to stop letting our minds run away with themselves. And if I ever gave anybody that impression, I never meant to, never wanted to. I'm not that type of person. I'm simply here to, if I know something to be fact, I'll bring it to you guys. But if I don't, I'll discuss it. Nowadays, if you even have a discussion with people, they don't want to hear it. And that's what it is. Like I said, I could do a 10-part series on the decay of society, of modern society, period. I could. Because there's so many things that's decaying it. Our line of communications have broken down as humans. People can't even have a decent conversation anymore. People can't even disagree anymore without being at each other's throats. If people aren't seeing the world for what it is, and how we're moving into this new weird landscape of just like detachment from everything and everyone and living in a perpetual state of, confusion, then we're going to really be lost, even going forward a year or two. I'm telling you, with AI and all these things that are confusing people even more, it's not going to be good. I promise you guys that. So it's up to us to identify the problem. That's the first thing. We have to, because there's not a problem if you can't identify that there's a problem. So we need to identify the problem to understand there's a problem, and then we work together to fix the said problem. But I don't think a lot of people even admit that there is a problem. And that's the problem. Until we can finally admit that as a society in total, it's not one person's fault. We have a problem. Until we can admit that, that's when we can fix it, and that's when we can unify and actually make real change, not the bullshit change they pitch to you on TV with all these, let's get together and take a stand against whatever. No, I'm talking real change. Real change will come when people admit, like I said, that there is a problem in modern society, and they decide that they're going to do something to change it. That's when real change will happen.